big smiley face, all kinds of faces. The Herd getting set for the start of the second half. The emoji is very popular. Colorado State, first half, no surprise, led by Antoine Scott. 13 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 3 of 5 from long distance, also had 4 rebounds.
And three-point shooting, what we expected. These two teams can shoot it. And the Rams in that first half were 7 of 15, 46.7%. The Aggies at 37.5%, 6 of 16. The Rams will have the basketball first. And, I expect more of the same. Up and down the floor, guys knocking down shots. It's fun basketball.
I've got a feeling we're going to see Scott and Smith at some point. We saw it a couple times.
Is this going to be
One
a duel?
Guy scores, the other guy goes to the other end.
This is going to be a duel. That's what it was over in Fort Collins. I want that. I think that would be great. And the Aggies start right out in that 1-2-2 zone with Jalen Moore at the point. And we have a tall point out there. You want to swing the basketball against the zone. It makes it hard to throw it over the top of that point. He's so long.
Deciman 3 drills it right from the top of the key. Joe Deciman.
A beautiful shot. Ball goes down to the corner, rotates back out. He gets a good look from 3.
Jalen Moore is fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Utah State was in front most of the half. Now Colorado State with a 1-point lead, but I expect a lot of lead changes here in the second half.
Jalen Moore on attack. He's got a unique skill set. He's 6'9", so Moore's got length to play in the post, but he handles the basketball like a guard. So he's a post with guard skills. That's a tough matchup. That's his 8th point in the ball game.
Now, his game a lot different than Julius Erving, but I must say the first time I saw Jalen Moore, I thought, that reminds me of Doc back in the day with the hair.
That hair is exactly like the Doc. And the Doc, he's like 3 inches taller than Dr. J.
I felt like Doc looked taller because of the hair.
And I haven't seen Jalen do what Dr. J would do on a fast break with that windmill dunk. I haven't seen him do that one.
May not have the same ups as Dr. J, but he's got a similar hairstyle. Antoine Scott. Blows by Smith, but a good weak side help there as they got a piece of it.
And that was Lou Evans that came over with a help defense. Bothered that shot, did a good job. That's what you want.
We haven't talked about defense much. We got to get it in when we can. Shot clock. Magbo misses as the clock expires. Darius Perkins had a good offensive first half, going for 8 points. Hit a couple of threes. Smith, the triple. Yes. Chris Smith drills his first shot of the second half.
Really good awareness by Jalen Moore. He goes baseline, gets the whole defense turned and facing him, and he finds his buddy right out at the point for an open jump shot.
Evans, and he misses the dunk, but he's fouled.
And Lou Evans has a unique skill set that makes him difficult to defend. So he's a 6'9" guy that can be real physical down low, but he can get out and run the floor. You saw him there. Real active hands defensively. He's the one that created this steal. And what would have been a good finish, but he got hit on the wrist and lost the ball on the way up. But then he can go out, and he's got good range. He can step out and shoot the jump shot, 38% from 3. So he's a tough matchup.
One thing he struggled with tonight, Blaine, it just doesn't seem like there's enough arc on his shot. He's had several ones that are on target, but they're just too much on the line.
Here on the free throw line, it's all one motion from the floor up. That free throw starts right from the floor up, one motion with a nice high finish and good arc. And you're right, even his free throw looked a little flat today.
And that last foul on Deciman, his 3rd personal foul, so he checks out of the game. Scott, the drive, lost the handle. Daniels there. Can't hit the 3. Another offensive rebound for Colorado State.
Although he almost banked that in from the corner. That would have been remarkable.
Colorado State with 6 offensive rebounds. Richardson, nice pump fake, can't finish. Loose ball, it'll be a Utah State basketball. John Gillen comes into the game. And he's part of the reason why the bench points are flipped from the first meeting, because you bring him off the bench and he's a guy who's a double-digit scorer.
Yeah, averages 12.3 points a game.
And he started most of the season.
Yeah.
It's of late, Coach Eustachy wanting to give his team a little offensive spark. Very nice play there. Good pass from Smith and Taylor.
Love the movement without the ball. So Taylor comes up high, then he rolls down to the basket, and Smith finds him on the cut. Really good job of running their offense. But then Taylor comes down. That's a great job hedging on the ball screen there on defense.
Amagbo to his left, no, but he is fouled. Foul will go against Evans.
Foul is on Lou Evans. His third.
That's 3 now on Evans. They don't have a lot of bigs. That's we're gonna have to pay close attention.
At the free throw line.
Because when they bring in Elston Jones, he doesn't have the ability to move quickly enough to defend.
And it's really that's it. Lou Evans. They started big in this game with Lou Evans at 6'9", and then they started Quinn Taylor in this one at 6'8". So if one of those guys is out, they can bring Elston Jones in, but offensively, that's a big drop-off.
Amagbo misses the first free throw, 66% on the season. Really look like he was kind of pushing it, both those free throws.
Yeah, that was real short out the front of the rim.
Aggies on a 6-0 run. Moore really set a nice screen there to set up Taylor.
Taylor's in great position, but Teal Daniels with quick hands recovers and is able to get the block.
Daniels has played better and better as the season has progressed. After the first 10 games of the season, he's showed remarkable improvement. Scott, the triple, no. And Amagbo over the over the back.
You see good position on the inside. That's what you want to do. You get a body. You saw Quinn Taylor turn, get a body on Amagbo, and so Amagbo goes up to try to contest that board, and he's going over the back. Picks up the foul.
Inside to Smith, and soft touch, but can't get it to go.
You had Smith posted up on Gillen, which is a big size advantage, but Teal Daniels came over to help.
Gillen thought twice about the triple. We've seen that tonight. Every time a guy's thought twice about it, maybe yet to see one go down. Perkins stop and pop. Antoine Scott. Oh, that's nice. I just heard one of the local fans say, are we going to set up and run a play? And frankly, this looks a lot more like a scrimmage than
this is up and down the court right now. And twice now in the last 3 times down the floor, you see Scott go and just beat the defense down the floor, and then Gillen. Number 1 rule in transition defense or in early defense is that you got to stop the ball. Somebody's got to say, I've got ball, and they've got to redirect whoever has the basketball away from the basket.
Perkins stripped, and it goes off Perkins. It'll be Colorado State basketball when we come back. So the Aggies had kind of gotten in front, and then quickly the Rams come back. Hopefully we've got another thriller on our hands. ESPN bringing you Mountain West basketball. Second half, a little more than 15 minutes to go. A 1-point game, Utah State in front. Utah State looking for the sweep as they won in Fort Collins 96-92 just about a month ago, back on January the 16th. And you covered that game as well. It feels as though we're on track for a very similar story.
Same kind of thing, and it was a game of runs there. We start the second half off a little cold, though. And The Rams come out. They're just 3 of 9 here in the second half, 33%. The Aggies, they're 2 of 6, 33%. And that's after shooting 48% in the first half for the Aggies. So a little slow start to the second half, but you see here early in the second half in this first 4 minutes that these teams do want to push the pace a little bit and get up and down the floor. They're just not converting.
Antoine Scott leads away for the Rams with 15. Chris Smith leads away for the Aggies with 16. Scott decides to drive it. They're going to count it. Yes, basket and the foul. Antoine Scott. He's got more variety in the half court than anybody I've seen in the Mountain West this year.
So, and you saw, when you're going out to close on him, you got to come out aggressively, but you want to be balanced up. And then when he puts the ball on the floor, your defense you just have to assume that whoever's guarding him is going to get beat. So your rotations have to be quick.
7-0 run for Colorado State. They now lead by 2. Scott now leads all scorers with 18 points. That was just his first trip to the free throw line. Now they're matched up against each other, Smith and Scott. It's a lot of work. You got to score all the points, and then you got to defend the other team's best player. And Scott doing his best right
he's
here.
Getting after it. I love the hustle this time down the floor defensively.
Lou Evans tonight, the shot he doesn't look comfortable.
And that was a bad miss. I don't know if that hit the rim. Hard off the glass. And then Smith on the other end, same duty. Smith is covering Scott on the other end. And so the two best scorers are also playing D on one another. That is not an easy job.
Gillen misses that 3. Obviously, Coach Stacy sees the way Gillen plays, but if you've never seen him, sometimes he hoists shots fading from 25 feet. You think, that's not a good shot. Now that, on the other hand,
that's a very good
shot.
Well, you could see that opening up as the penetration goes into the paint and Colorado State's defense starts to close down. Jalen Moore was just sitting over there, poised in great shooting position, ready position to catch that ball and shoot it. Well done.
Here they are again, Scott and Smith. We've had 7 lead changes so far, and they're going to get Rector for the foul here. Check that, it's Elston Jones who picks up the foul.
Jones coming out and he was trying to help on the screen, but when you help on that, you want to go out and you want what we call hedge on a ball screen. That's getting your big guy out there and having him be aggressive enough with his feet to force the guy coming off the screen to bow back and redirect him away from the rim, not letting him just turn the corner off of that screen. He reached with his hand and fouled.
Deciman back on the floor, can't connect on the 3, and it sure appeared as though Evans touched it last, but it will be Aggies basketball. What do you think here?
Let's take a look. Yeah, that's a good call because Evans was controlling and Mogbu just poked it up and out. So they got it right.
Rector is bumped in traffic. Wow, that looked like an NBA continuation. And now they're going to say no basket. And Coach Duryea doesn't like it. What do you think?
The rule is that if you're in the act of gathering the ball up and starting on your steps toward that layup or toward that shot, and it used to be that unless the shot was up, on its way in college basketball, there wasn't any continuation. But the rule's a lot more like the NBA rule, the way they're interpreting it now. It depends on where that foul came. If it was when he still had the ball on the ground, I would say no. But if it was after he picked it up, I would say that was a good call.
That's nice. Jalen Moore.
Great out-of-bounds play.
And Moore's heating up. The lead is 3, and Jalen Moore now 13 points to go. So far in the game. Amagbo, the drive, can't finish. He has a quickness advantage there against Jones. And Amagbo lost his shoe. It's 5-on-4. Perry's triple, no. And no surprise, they don't have anybody there to rebound. Amagbo never came down to the other side.
He stayed on the defensive end. I can tell you Larry Stacey not happy about that. They stayed down on the offensive end and never got back to defend.
Well, understandable, he did have to get his shoe on, but once his shoe was on, he did not sprint to the other end, and they had no chance to get the rebound. So Utah State, a 7-0 run over the last minute and 40 seconds. The Aggies lead by 5 in this place. Getting excited here in Logan. Welcome back, Utah State on a run. 7 consecutive points, lead by 5, and one of the catalysts for this run, Jalen Moore, who now has 13 points. He's just 2 away from reaching 1,000 points in his career, and still just a junior.
It's such a tough matchup at 6'9", and you watch him run the floor. He really does. If you didn't know he was 6'9", if he was out there playing by himself and you were just going to guess, you'd say, oh, what is he, 6'3", 6'4"? Because the way he moves and the way he handles the basketball. Yeah, so he's a tough guard for anybody.
Let's see what Coach Stacey wants to do here is get the Rams going again. Antoine Scott's always a good option. Scott into the paint. Gillen's triple. Short, long rebound, and Perry chases it down. We are coming to you from the Spectrum in Logan, Utah. Colorado State and Utah State meeting for the 93rd time. If Jalen Moore gets a touch here, he probably doesn't know that he only needs 2 for 1,000. And did Rector get it off? No. Real casual possession considering how early in the clock we've seen both teams shooting the basketball.
And they were trying to move the basketball. To the Rams' credit, they were real active defensively and were there.
There's a timeout on the floor.
We will step away for just a few moments. Tim Durde trying to secure this one for his team and pick up their 5th conference victory of the season. They're coming for the cameraman, Blaine. Just throwing popcorn at him.
And that's not right. If they want to throw some popcorn, they should throw some over here at the next time out. I'm hungry.
Are you a little hungry?
It's all right.
You don't eat.
We're gonna make it.
You don't eat before games, so
no,
you got no one to blame but yourself.
I have my pregame meal, and it's got to be the right amount of time before the game. Got to get my game face on. Yeah, but popcorn would be really good right now.
I got a feeling that we could make that happen.
It's all right. And you know what? We're about to get to prime time in this ball game when one of these teams is going to have to step up, and the team that's going to win it is the one that's going to pick it up defensively. That steps out there and all of a sudden decides that they're going to extend a bunch of effort and get some stops.
Daniels gets the 2, just his first points of the night. Antoine Scott picks up the personal foul.
Just a second foul for Scott.
Colorado State 5 team fouls, Utah State 4 team fouls. Oh, that's a risky pass there. Deciman didn't
that
see
out
it.
of bounds play was defended really well by the Rams. There was not anybody open, and so they just lobbed it up to their big guy.
Try to get it into Chris Smith in the post. That's a 6-team foul, so 1 more, and then Utah State will be in the bonus.
So Chris Smith, as we mentioned, that battle's going on, Antoine Scott and Chris Smith. Chris Smith, he's a big dude, at 6'4" and 210 pounds. He looks like a tight end, an NFL tight end. And Antoine Scott is 6'2" and 178 pounds.
Jalen Moore can't convert. Antoine Scott's been quiet for a while. Tough shot. Daniels, the offensive rebound. Scott goes and gets it, and the ball hit the underside of the backboard. Apparently off Utah State. It's going to remain Rams basketball.
I think they're going to say that Elston Jones got a piece of that on the way up. That's why it hit and went out of bounds. Take a look. See if Elston Jones gets this. Yeah, Elston Jones got a little piece of that. It went off the bottom of the backboard and then out of bounds, and so it goes to the Rams. That's the right call. Again, this crew's done a nice job tonight. Now the Aggies in that zone defense, a 1-3-1 zone, but not a trapping 1-3-1.
Scott can't convert. Gillen, an NBA triple. No. So many long rebounds because they missed threes, and nobody accounts for Perry. Cherry picks down court.
As you're rotating out on offense, the guy that ends up on the point, regardless of whether it's your point guard or not, has got to get back in transition D.
Jessamine can't hit the three, but Daniels there to clean it up. So Utah State, half of their attempts have been three-point attempts, and more than half of Colorado State's attempts have been three-pointers.
That's how this matchup goes. And there's a good
real nice.
So Elston Jones came out like he wanted to post up, and when they overplayed him, he just spun backdoor and sealed the defender, Jalen Moore. That was a really good entry pass.
How about this stat line for Moore? He's now got 13 points, 6 rebounds, and that was his 4th assist. Complete game tonight for Jalen Moore. Either Gillen or Scott's going to have to get hot for the Rams. And here's Scott. Misses again. Stuck on 18 points. And Gillen thought he took it away clean. And the officials do not agree. And the Aggies go to the free throw line the rest of the way.
You saw Gillen looking up. He says, I'm going to look up on the screen and see if I can see that myself. And he did get a lot of ball, but did he get some wrist before he got the ball? It looked ugly. When it looks ugly, they got to call it.
Rector converts the free throw, 74% on the season. Jalen Moore will get a break, and I got a feeling it won't be a long one. Jalen Moore plays a lot of minutes for this team, 34.5 minutes per game. So anytime he gets to that bench, you know he's not staying for very long. Oh, the lead now, 7 points. What do you do if the Rams are getting the same shots they were getting in the first half? They're just not going in.
And that's the problem. It's not that they're doing anything wrong offensively. They're getting to where they want to. They're getting the shots. They're just not falling. So you just can't get discouraged. But you know what you can do? You can get stops on the other end. And that's about energy and about communicating. Moving screen that time on Amagbo. Came out to set that screen and just slid sideways. Yeah, you got to let the guy that has the ball bring the defender to you. You can't go pick him off.
Rector, the drive with the left hand, Shane Rector.
That's what Rector does so well. Excellent penetrator. He'll go attack your defense. And he's a good defender, too. He's always got his hands in the passing lanes. He's your steals guy for the Aggies.
Rams need points, and Richardson misses the layup.
Oh, what a good pass by Mogbo, too. Just a good read of the defense, a give and go. And can't convert right at the rim.
Utah State on a 6-0 run. Can Richardson end it? No. Oh, and they fight for it. And it is going to be Colorado State basketball when we come out. We come out from the break, and right now the Aggies stretch the lead to 9 points. They've scored 6 consecutive points. Colorado State won for their last 9 field goals. We'll see what the Rams can come up with when we come back. Blaine Fowler, here's the question. How does Colorado State get some baskets to get their confidence back? I mean, this is a team that scored 92 points in losing to Utah State a month ago, and they just can't score here in the second half.
And it's about energy. And when you're not knocking down shots, you go down to the defensive end, you create a steal, you get a transition bucket, all of a sudden it feels like a weight's lifted from you, and then you're better in the half court. But I really think that it would be great to get a bucket here in the half court, but I think that for Colorado State, this comeback starts by raising the energy level defensively and getting some easier shots than that one. That's a closely contested three from 4 feet beyond the three-point line. And right now, they're 1 for 13 in the second half from three. And the Aggies they're 9 of 16 from the field here in the second half. They're 55% in the second half and over 50% for the game. They're +5 on their normal field goal percentage, and the Rams are -10.
Amagbo, we're going to call it a block, so he will go to the free throw line.
Foul is on Lou Evans. His fourth.
You see,
what do you think?
Wait, you see, you know how he didn't just stand? You watch him. You want him to stand in there, and at the end, you see how Evans just kind of flinched and fell back. I still think he was set. I think that could have been a charge. But you take away all doubt if you just stay square and just stay solid and just take the charge.
Evans leads the Aggies. He's taken 11 charges this season.
It's easy to say when you got a guy the size of Amagbo coming right at you to not flinch or turn away. You'd take a charge, though.
Not against this young man at the free throw line.
6'8" coming at you. You'd stand right in there and you'd take it.
Not unless he promised he'd just jump over me and there'd be no contact. Jalen Moore back in the game, and he remains just 2 points shy of 1,000 in his career. But keep in mind that Utah State in the last meeting led by 9 with 64 seconds to go, and with 12 seconds left, Colorado State was only down 1.
This is a team, even though they've been missing some shots, they're capable. And now you see Scott, he's going out, he's extending the defense to half court. This Rams team knows that they're coming down to crunch time, and they got to increase their effort on this end of the floor a little bit. It's all about stops right now.
Perry leaves it short. We haven't seen a lot of Darius Perkins here in the second half.
And that was a good defensive trip down the floor for the Rams. They were solid all around that time, and they get a stop.
Gillen with the left hand, yes.
Wow, did he make that without hitting it off the glass? Good touch by Gillen. And there was some contact there, and he came off the contact and still finished. Impressive.
Nice pass. Oh, no.
Pick and roll, old school to perfection, but the dunk wasn't to perfection.
And Gillen, the three. And we have foul on Colorado State. Boy, that could have been a huge momentum swing. You don't get the dunk, they get the three. And unfortunately for the Aggies, the three does not go down. 19 fouls, so one more to be the double bonus the rest of the way.
There's your 1 for 14 for the Rams here in the second half. And the Aggies, they're not out hunting threes. They're 2 for 5, and they're having success getting the ball down inside and attacking.
But Jalen Moore, if he hits both, won't be the most exciting way to reach 1,000. But you got to think about all the other
2 free throws. Yeah, he's had some other exciting stuff along the way. He wants to get it on a dunk.
I think he'd take it anyway. He can get it right now in a 7-point game. Amagbo the triple. They're now 1 for 15 from beyond the arc.
And this is a team that this season has made 37% of his three-point shots.
Jay Rector
on attack. Yeah, and I like the fact in that first game the Aggies were matching threes. In this game they haven't just been content to stand out there and shoot jump shots. They've been on attack.
Antoine Scott stripped by Chris Smith. Smith has help. Taking himself basket on the foul.
Basket is good. And one more. Foul is on.
So Chris Smith is just mishandled by Scott when he was trying to get it back. Smith knocks it away. Boy, just a good play. That's a great finish. Really strong effort by Chris Smith. A lot of contact by Desmond. Desmond knows he's going to foul, but he figures he's going to keep that ball off the rim.
And Deciman's a big, strong guy himself. He's more than 200 pounds. And Chris Smith leading the way for the Aggies.
And the Aggies extend the pressure a little bit in that zone trap. And they drop back in to a half-court zone.
Tough shooting half for Colorado State. Jalen Moore for 1,000. Spins out. Jump ball possession to Utah State.
Ever since you start talking about this 1,000 thing, he cannot make a basket.
Oh, so now you're blaming me?
It's all, you can't say stuff like that.
It's one thing if I say the guy's a 90% free throw shooter before he shoots one.
I know.
I mean,
no, it's not. It's not on you. He's got to make a shot. That was an open three.
And Moore almost turned it over. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Chris Smith will shake and bake. Can't get it to go. But we know the Rams can score in bunches, so even though they've been ice cold,
a
come back.
12 points with just under 5 to go is not insurmountable for this Rams team. They're good enough offensively to do it. Right now, shots aren't falling.
Gillen, very good at getting to the free throw line. Leads the team in both free throw attempts and makes, but they're going to have to wait for one more. I thought maybe they were going to call that a shooting foul.
Yeah, that was Rector way out front with a foul before the collision with Moore.
Baseline jumper is good. Amagbo drills the baseline jumper.
Amagbo, who's averaging just under 11 points a game, gets that to fall. And is that the start of something? We'll have to see. But you can't just trade baskets now. Now you got to get another stop here defensively.
Another chance for Moore. There it is. Gets the three. Now has 1,001 points in his career. The 37th player in Utah State men's basketball history. Over 1,000. You can hear the fans. They just announced it.
And I took the jinx off by talking about the fact that we jinxed it.
So you're actually taking credit as well. That's great.
Yes.
I thought for sure the Rams would have one more run in it.
And there's no reason to hurry for the Aggies right now. These shots should come with under 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Amagbo open floor, and he left it short.
That just seems how this second half is going in terms of shooting. And that's the one that Amagbo probably dunks.
They are 8 for 31 from the field in the second half. It has been a tough second half, but how about Jalen Moore now in the history books? He had a couple of misses before he can get to 1,000, and then the perfect stroke, nails the three. Hometown kid, over 1,000. Welcome back, and there you can see on the aisle Jimmy Moore, Jalen Moore's father.
Proud pop up there, Jimmy Moore watching Jalen Moore get to 1,000 tonight. Big night, and there's the three that gets it done. Well, he's also been on attack in this ball game. A little bit of everything for Jalen Moore. As we mentioned, it's beautiful entry pass, that time to Jones, another three from the right corner. And there's the record breaker. Looked exactly like the first one.
It did.
From that same spot. Jalen Moore likes that spot.
And I think Dad's going to like the stat line because he's 50% from the field, 50% from beyond the arc, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists.
He's getting it done. Jimmy Moore, his dad played here at Utah State. 72-75 is when he was here. He's still 24th all-time in school history. He's got 1,164 points, so Jalen's still chasing his dad. But he's got another year.
He's got plenty of time
to
get there.
He could get there. Jimmy also 15th all-time in rebounds with 652. So, but that's a proud pop-up in the stands. Still on staff here at Utah State as an assistant athletic director.
Good ball movement. They used the whole clock, but then a foul on the Aggies. Tim Duryea not happy. There it is, Jimmy Moore.
There you go. Two-time all-district, all-century team, and in the Hall of Fame. He's now the assistant athletics director. He's over special projects for the athletic department here. A good man.
And it's just such a nice family story that they've stayed here in this community. Jalen Moore grew up here, and frankly, he could have had an opportunity to go a lot of places to play, but wanted to stay here.
Well, and his brother Grayson's here hurt right now.
Yep.
But that's another big guy they don't have, a 6'7", redshirt senior. There's his brother. And so it's a family affair here for the Moores. And Jalen's going to continue to move up that all-time scoring list.
And he's a very unselfish player. I mean, if he wanted to, he could probably go for 20 a night, but that's just not his game. All right, 11-point game. If you're thinking at home this thing's over, watch out. I mentioned a moment ago they were down 9 with 64 seconds, the Rams, and they made it a 1-point game.
And these Rams they can go down and knock down 3 straight threes in a hurry and be right back in this thing. But I just have not seen the energy level from these Rams that we've seen in the past. And defensively, especially on this end. And then on the offensive end, we've watched shot after shot fall off the rim, and it gets discouraging after a while. And the second half has been brutal shooting the basketball for the Rams. Sometimes they just don't fall.
Just 8 for 32 from the field, and even more, revealing 1 of 15 from beyond the arc. They made 7 threes in the first half. It's going to be another good shooting night.
It's in them. They can do it, but they just haven't been falling to this point. And the Aggies are going to drop back in that zone and try to make it the Rams shoot over the top of that thing.
Interesting, Antoine Scott not on the floor right now, their leading scorer. Page got the defender up in the air, can't finish. Chris Smith the rebound. Scott has 3 personal fouls. It's not a foul trouble issue. We're coming out of 2 minutes.
And the Aggies, again, they're just going to take their sweet time here. And the Rams, shots aren't falling. They're not in that, hey, let's go out and foul and put the Aggies on the free throw line mode, down by 12 with just under 2 to go.
Gillen fouls Rector for the Aggies. This is an ideal way. Use clock and then get fouled. Get points.
If you saw Gillen's face at the end of that kind of sums up how these Rams have felt in the second half. And sometimes on the road, shots just don't fall. And I was talking to Rex Walters, the San Francisco's coach, a few weeks ago over there covering the USF, and he goes, you know what? Defense travels, offense does not. Not always. Sometimes it does, but the one thing you can rely on the road, if you're a great defensive team, you're good at home and you're good on the road. If you're a great shooting team, sometimes you don't shoot it great on the road.
But this Antoine Scott being on the bench is interesting. I happen to have them coming up on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see what we learn, why he's not on the floor here at crunch time. Chris Smith has been dynamite, 19 points. Connected on 3 3-point field goals, went for 35 in the first meeting. Hasn't needed that many points. Rector's jumper. It looked pretty in the box score, but that was not a good-looking shot. But
it was flat
anyway.
And it landed on the back of the iron, but it's stuck. Did a little shooter's touch on it.
1 minute remaining.
Deciman's triple, no. And Rector knocks it out of bounds.
I think Larry Eustace recognizes that, boy, it's just not, things just aren't falling in this half. So we're not going to see him with a bunch of fouls right here down the stretch.
The Rams are going to be content to let the Aggies finish this one off. They will have to take a shot. Just 10 on the shot clock. Just the final score now in doubt. Gillen. Very nice pass.
And the Aggies playing very passive that time, not wanting to foul. Tendurier just said, hey, no fouls this time down the floor, and they can dribble this thing out. An impressive effort by the Aggies. Not the high-scoring game that we had the last time. And the Aggies didn't have to get into a shooting duel with the Rams like they did over in Fort Collins because shots just wouldn't fall for these Colorado State Rams, especially in this second half.
Utah State improves to 13-11. They are now 5-8 in Mountain West games, and they've won 2 straight in the Mountain West after a 5-game losing streak. Colorado State now 14-12, 6-7 in the Mountain West. Blaine, what'd you learn tonight?
Yeah, like I just said, to win on the road, you got to play good defense, and the Rams just didn't have the energy tonight, and shots wouldn't fall. Credit to these Aggies. They were good offensively, as they have been all year.
Great job from our entire crew. On behalf of Blaine Feller, I'm Ari Wolf saying so long from Logan, Utah. To watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.